Hello everyone and welcome to PAXP Gamers. This is episode I don't even know anymore, and this is of course your number one podcast for all things Forza. Forza? Right?
It
No,
is. It really is. Every episode will be mentioned by
Forza?
Roman with Forza.
And Witcher.
Forza.
And Witcher is a secondary subject. When we have time.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, with that said, I do want to talk about the developer of Forza.
Really?
Yeah, I actually do. I know.
Shocker.
Right?
Shocker. I'm stunned. What new development could possibly have come about for you to mention the game?
Victor, try not to faint. Okay, so here's the thing. Playground Games is, of course, a developer of Forza Horizon, right? There's two developers for Forza, right? There's Turn 10, who does the incredible Forza Motorsport, which is the simulation version, and Playground Studios, who does the Forza Horizon series. Now, there's a rumor out there, and this rumor is all but confirmed at this point, that Fable, right, the next Fable game, and Fable is, of course, this massive franchise. Have you played Fable in the past, Victor?
I played it briefly.
So that's like saying I've heard of him. Like
Exactly.
somebody's like, hey, you saw Mark Wahlberg? Well, I've heard of him, right? Like that.
Yeah. No, exactly. That's how it is.
Okay, so you've heard of Fable. Fable, I love Fable. I've played the first, second, and third iteration. I never played the Connect one where you use your hands to make magical spells. I thought that was pretty lame, so I never even gave that a shot. But from what I've heard, that was definitely the worst game in the series. Mm-hmm. But with my opinion totally unsoiled, I'm a huge fan of Forza. God,
I know that.
I'm a huge fan of Fable. Like anyone who was following the very first one back when it was still in development for 17 years or whatever long it was, probably like 3 or 4 years, but still, for a very long time, I was incredibly disappointed by everything they've cut out, because it's one of those games where I think they've cut out more than they've left in, but only because they've promised that the game would literally have everything in it. It was crazy. Like, they promised that you would have a farm and you could build a farm and you could grow these things on your farm in this adventure RPG, right? Mm-hmm. And the whole game could be about you growing this farm, right? They promised all kinds of things that never came to be. Still, even with so many promises dashed, the original Fable was incredible. Fable 2 was super good. Fable 3 was just as good. All three games were really good. My favorite was Fable 1, but I think it's mostly because of the setting. Each of the Fable series kind of moved forward in time, and so until they eventually got like these muskets, the guns, right? Mm-hmm. Call of Fable, if you will.
It's been like 10 years since the last Fable, right? Or maybe
yeah,
or so,
it has. It's been so long. But now, what I'm leading to is that the new Fable is rumored to be in development. It's been confirmed by Eurogamer, where they've had, I think, at least 3 independent sources tell them that they are working on a new Fable game, and the developer of Fable. This new Fable game is none other than Playground Games. Do you know much about Playground Games? Do you know their history?
Not a whole lot. I mean, I may have heard them in passing, but not really.
So excluding like DLC and expansion packs or whatever, here's what Playground Games what games they've made. So in 2016, just last year, right? Well, 2 years ago, at least now, because 2018, they released Forza Horizon 3, which got amazing reviews. Mm-hmm. In 2014, so 2 years before that, they released Forza Horizon 2. Mm-hmm. And in 2012, though, they released Forza Horizon 1. And that's it.
So their only experience really is racing games. So how do you think they'll be successful in doing essentially a totally different style of game? I mean, there's nothing in their experience that they've done with the Fable series type of game.
There is one thing. So Fable is, I don't know if I'd consider it open world, but it's open world-ish, right? Where it's got these huge hubs, and you can travel in these hubs in any direction you want, and you kind of go back and forth. And so let's just say, for the sake of argument, let's say it's open world. Forza Horizon, every game in the series has been open world driving game.
Yeah, but you're on the road all the time, though. I mean,
You are on the road again. Yeah. You are on the road. You're absolutely right. You're on the road. So it's very different, right? One thing that I was listening to an IGN podcast where they joked about how what if in this new Fable game you are actually a car.
What?
No, I'm kidding. That was they were joking about. They were joking about that.
Oh my god. That would be like, yeah, I don't know.
You're a car that can cast spells. No. So yeah, but you're right. They don't have the experience of an open world game. Actually no, they do have the experience of an open world game, but they don't have the experience of say like a fighting system, right? They don't have an experience with a magic system.
Fighting mechanics. There's so much into an open world, this RPG essentially, versus a racing game. It's more than just turn left, turn right, and learn how to use the brake. So it's weird. They got to be getting some kind of consulting, I would think, either, or maybe even some original assets from the game that might help them with that.
So here is one thing that is happening. This whole rumor started because they were hiring people with experience in open world game development, like in open world RPGs. And so they're staffing up for this new type of game. But here's the other thing you got to think about. So,
but if they're just staffing up now, then the game's not even developed. So then how can it even be rumored?
Well, here's the thing. So here's kind of the background. They started working on their own project, right? On a separate project. And this is all rumors. They started working on their own project. As time went on, Microsoft or someone at Microsoft or somebody else, maybe all together, they discovered their project. Mm-hmm. They liked their project and liked what they were doing. They weren't working on a car game. Mm-hmm. But they liked it enough and it was similar enough to where they thought maybe this could work as a Fable game. But to back up even before that, so listen to this. I know Forza Horizon is not your typical RPG open world game, right? But here are some similarities that it does have. First of all, like it's open world, right? And an open world game, what it has to have is one is a sense of exploration, which is something that Forza has. And another thing it has to have is a sense of discovery, where you have like these little, say, hidden gems that you got to find that make it interesting to explore, which again Forza Horizon has. The other thing it has to have is side quests, which Forza Horizon has a ton of. Like this is why the Forza Horizon series is continuously getting really high.
So you know what I see? You know what I see?
What?
This rumored Fable adaptation or Fable reboot or whatever they're gonna do, that's gonna be made by a racing developing team, is just gonna have these boring missions of back and forth to you know what I'm saying? Like, go get this in return, or it's just gonna seem like it's like you're racing through the land. What if it's just like, I don't know, you have all these racing elements in it, and you're just like,
Are you thinking that Forza is gonna have horseback racing and one of the horses might be a Mustang? That was a bad joke. That was a bad joke.
I'm laughing that it's a horrible joke, not because.
Oh my god! Okay, forget I said that. Please, can we maybe edit that out or something? I don't know. Anyway,
it's interesting.
But what I'm getting at is the world of Forza Horizon has a lot of the mechanics of an open world RPG, right? Where it has the side quests, it has the sense of exploration, it has a sense of discovery. Like, these are very important factors that make a good open world game, right? Like, think Skyrim or think Zelda, where there's all these little side things happening in the world that make you want to see more. So Forza has that nailed down. The other part that it has nailed down that I think everyone would probably overlooked, except for maybe the Microsoft people that greenlighted this or greenlit this, is that Forza Horizon or any Forza game and an RPG, a modern RPG, have a very similar mechanic structure in terms of upgrading your character. In a Forza game, of course, you upgrade your car, right? You do intakes, shocks, brakes, tires, color palette, all these different things, spoilers, like aesthetics, right, to your car. In an RPG, you upgrade your clothing, you upgrade your stats of like fighting, defense, all these different things. So all these things could translate exactly into a car upgrading system that a Forza has, but instead of calling it upgrading brakes, you could say upgrading shield. So it has the open world and it has the upgrade system. The only thing it doesn't have, really, is the combat, right, and the story. Because the story in a Forza game is, hey, you're this hot shot and you want to win, right? That was my impression of I don't know, like a race car jockey or something. That's a thing too. Anyway, but that's, I mean, really, like, if you really give some time, you think like these games do have more in common, I think, as far as like the actual tough parts. Then they have differences.
So what it sounds like to me is you're trying to sell people on buying a Forza game to prepare you for an anticipated Fable game.
Oh, are you kidding me? Dude, you should definitely buy a Forza game regardless. You should just... Forza 7 is... So, okay, actually, no, I'm not going to talk about it.
Anyway.
I'm not going to talk about it.
Let's
Okay,
proceed.
so here's the other thing I want to talk about.
Yeah.
One is, what this Fable game could look like. So one thing... Some things to consider.
Well, what I heard was Fable, I think, was it 2 or 3 that wasn't very good. Like, one of them was the best, and I think that was 1. Or was it 2 that was good and the other...
So there's 4 total Fable games. 3 of them are very good. 1 is not. The one that's not is the Connect one, and it's... I don't remember what it's called now. But it's one where you use motion controls to control your character.
Oh, okay, yeah. So we're not talking... Okay. So the other 3 were good then.
We're going to pretend that one didn't even happen. Like, it's just something else.
Yeah.
Just something else. The other 3 were very good. Yeah, Fable 1 was my favorite just because of the setting. But as far as the mechanics go, I would say probably Fable 2 or 3 were better. I mean, it's just with age, right? Most games, like especially franchises, they get better with time.
Yeah.
All right, the mechanics get tighter, the aiming, the upgrades, whatever, right? They improve. But
So what do you think it'll look like then? Do you think they'll take something from the original, or do you think they're trying to reboot the system with this game since it's been so long? They really can't connect. Oh, and what I heard, aren't the 3 Fable games like drastically in different time periods, like 500 years or something like that apart?
Yeah, they are. Because one is straight up swords and arrows and magic.
Wow.
The other one is swords, guns, and magic, and the third one is swords, guns, and I guess it's not that far apart. So instead they really just replaced arrows with guns.
Yeah.
So I guess it's not that far apart because it's not like automatic weapons or anything. It's like it's like the kind of guns you think a pirate would have, right? Like I don't remember what the hell they're called, but like
a musket, like the
musket
style.
Yeah, exactly. So even though the time periods make it look different, gameplay wise, they don't feel that much different.
Oh, okay.
You're just replacing one type of ranged weapon with another type of ranged weapon. But here's what I'm leaning more towards as far as like what I'm asking, where I think the new game will fall is there's some very big things that have happened since Fable last came out, right? One is that there's been 3 big games that have kind of shaped open world action adventure games. And those 3 big games are Skyrim, which is huge, right? Like, I mean, remember back when Skyrim came out? I mean, hell, they're still developing Skyrim. Oh, not developing, but they're still releasing Skyrim for like the Switch.
They're milking the F out of that freaking game.
Right, yeah.
New system? Oh, okay, $60.
Yeah, Zelda has come out since then.
Yeah.
Right, which has kind of changed the way we look at what's possible in an open world sandbox. And Witcher 3 has come out, which has kind of changed how we look at an open world storytelling perspective, from a storytelling perspective.
Yeah.
Right, so all 3 of these games, like one is the open world exploration, the other one is the mechanics, and the third one is the story. Like all 3 of these games have shaped these open world RPGs in a very drastic way that Fable has not been a part of, right? Because Fable is on a hiatus. And not only that, there's a 4th game that I hate to mention because it's a PlayStation exclusive and it sucks, but it's called Horizon Zero Dawn. And I think I would bet anything that the reason this Fable is even being greenlit right now is because of how successful Horizon Zero Dawn was.
Because it was a good game.
It was an amazing game. It had incredible graphics. It had great mechanics, and from what I understand, it had a really good story too, right? So all these things combined, and it's a very strong new addition to the PlayStation universe, or whatever you want to call it, library, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
So
The only thing is that it'd be hard for them to. I don't know if they can make that. I mean, I guess they're trying to make that into a long time franchise. I'm not sure yet at this point. But
Wait, which one? Horizon?
Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Of course they are, dude. Are you kidding me? This
Yeah.
is from the developer that made Killzone, which made 3 mediocre games. They have one big hit now. What are they gonna do? Just sit on it?
Yeah. No, I see. I get you.
Yeah, because I mean, Killzone was always okay, right? It was never like a great game, but because Killzone always competed, it was supposed to be PlayStation's answer to Halo, which it could never be, right? It could never be in the multiplayer or the single player side.
No.
It's-
I really enjoyed the first Killzone, but then the other ones
me too.
were horrible. They really weren't that great.
I
They weren't
wouldn't say
horrible, but
yeah,
yeah,
they
I
were
wouldn't say-
okay. They were,
yeah,
that's
they're
the thing.
okay, but
They were okay.
They were like a
in
very basic shooter. It was like
Yeah.
just so basic. It was not. Yeah.
They were okay in a world populated by Call of Duty, Battlefield, and Halo. In a world where you had to be spectacular to even be noticed, and
Yeah.
being okay really meant, like you said, like they were meant to be horrible. They were seen as horrible because they were only okay. So they come out with this Horizon Zero Dawn, which is incredible, and people are still talking about it to this day, even though it came out a year ago. It's now the PlayStation go-to adventure game, right? Forget God of War, because God of War has been out of the spotlight for a little while now. It's all about Horizon Zero Dawn, and Xbox needs an answer to that, right?
Yeah.
They needed an answer to Uncharted a while back, so they got Tomb Raider, which in some ways is better, in some ways it's worse, right? I would argue that Tomb Raider is better in gameplay wise, but it was worse in story for sure. Because Uncharted 4, man, the story was amazing.
Yeah.
And now they need to compete with Horizon Zero Dawn, and
I think
Fable
they
is that
can.
perfect game.
I think they can because there's a major flaw that Horizon Zero Dawn has, that it has no sense, like it has this mysterious sense of exploration that's really not there. You think you have this vast area, this open world, and it is, but all you do is traverse the land. There's no caves, dungeons, anything underground, anything that you can really discover. Yeah, there's really nothing except for what you might experience in the storyline, because it's there, but there's virtually nothing. It's all above ground exploration, and I think that's a major flaw in Horizon Zero Dawn. And I think I mean, does Fable have that like dungeon-esque, you know, kind of like Skyrim exploration with the caves and stuff?
No, I mean, okay. So first of all, no game is as big as Skyrim or Witcher, right? Those two, like.
Well, but the idea of it.
Yeah, but I do remember exploring caves in Fable.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely remember that. Fable was very good. I would say Fable was very good about giving you a fairy tale, right? Whereas, say, like Witcher or Skyrim, or maybe even Horizon Zero Dawn, is more about telling a story, like as a modern audience would expect. Fable felt always more like what you read it as a child, but redone for an adult. Like that was its kind of hook, right? It was really interesting in that, because like you'd see all these like little like fairy tale elements, but all of a sudden they'd be really dark, where people would die and get mutilated or whatever, right? Like there's an arena where you fight to the death against all these different monsters and humans. And it had like, back to your point, they had dungeons, like it had different caves and a bunch of different side quests and all these things you could do. Like I think in the third or second Fable, you actually could buy a home, you could get married, you could raise a family, and you could have multiple wives.
Dang, what?
Right? It was like a Mormon's dream come true, right? So anyway, but yeah, so like if I was gonna ask you though now, like given that all these new games have come out, what does the new Fable game, especially given Horizon Zero Dawn and how good it was, what does a new Fable game have to do to really draw in players?
I don't know, because one thing that's different about Fable than it is from Horizon Zero Dawn is that isn't the art style a little bit more cartoony?
Fable is definitely cartoony, but I would say Horizon Zero Dawn isn't entirely realistic either. Like maybe on its landscape, but its people definitely don't look real.
No, dude, the
Pixar
people
folks.
look no, dude. The people look really real.
You serious? 'Cause, like,
Yeah.
so again,
You've never played the game, dude. So how
I
can
never
you
played the game. I have seen, but I've seen a ton of screenshots by now, and I never would say like, oh, that person looks real. I always thought like that's one thing that actually drew me away is because I always thought they looked really fake, like plasticky.
Huh.
Is that so? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm like maybe the art style is the difference.
Yeah, I don't know.
But what else? I mean, obviously art style can't be alone, right? Like
No.
it's gotta be. How can Fable evolve now?
I mean, it's hard for me to say because I haven't played the original game. But if it has that sense of exploration underground as well, and enough of it to really, like, offer something genuine about it, and like maybe a puzzle mechanic. Did the other ones have puzzle mechanics in it?
Fable had a little bit of puzzle mechanic, yeah.
Yeah, so it'd kind of be the same, like Lara Croft style. When you're Lara Croft and you go into one of the side caves and you solve the puzzle to get the little jewel at the end. Something like that, or just really good quality graphics. And I don't know what are the enemies usually like? Like just creatures, fictional, or I mean, what are the creatures like?
They were. I guess they were like typical. I shouldn't say typical. They were what you'd expect from an adult fairy tale, right? There was like the typical like trolls. There was goblins. There was wizards. All that kind of stuff like you'd expect in a fairy tale. Like it was almost like playing a European fairy tale. Maybe that's his big draw, right? Maybe his big draw will be the story.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway,
I was never really I was never really interested in the Fable game series, so it was really hard for me to even
which is crazy.
Remember what they are like.
Is it because you didn't play it on the original Xbox?
No, because I had an original Xbox, but I don't know why I didn't play it. There must have been something else popular out at that time, and I must have been playing that.
Dude, I promise you, when the original Fable was coming out, there was no other game that must have had more hype than Fable, because that game has been in development at that time for so many years, and it had such a staggering amount of promises that no other game ever had. Like, that was the game to buy. And it ended up really good, but definitely not even close to what it was promised.
Yeah. Another game that a lot of people are anticipating to be announced at this year's E3.
Let me guess. Forza 8?
Oh my god.
I'm just kidding.
No, I guess Halo 6.
Oh yeah, I'm totally anticipating that because we haven't had a Halo now. So it's been like 2 years?
2 years?
2 years, 2 years. So I'm definitely anticipating at least an announcement. I don't know if it'll be released yet. It might be like a teaser or something, but there should definitely be something about Fable. Halo.
I think it might be like a teaser, like a good teaser. That's what I'm anticipating. Like not just a glimpse teaser, but like something that's really going to offer some satisfaction. Because most
like just like pictures of Cortana, something that might offer some satisfaction.
Yeah. Oh, dude, oh my god, I thought of this amazing intro for the new Halo. Because when I heard this rumor that Halo might be announced, I thought of the perfect teaser in my own head that would just make people wanting to know what the fuck is going on. And it's just like, you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
Okay, so imagine the camera.
Imagine the camera.
Okay. It's dark and it slowly lights up, right?
Uh-huh.
And all of a sudden the light is enough for you to see that you're within this spaceship that's been wrecked. Like fires going on in the background, red lights are flashing, and there's this sci-fi looking little platform, this podium sticking out of the ground, and Cortana appears, right? Like she does.
Victor, can I stop you for a second?
Yeah.
You are describing exactly the start of Halo 4.
Really?
So far. This is
Anyway,
exactly how it's
anyway,
you're on
anyway.
a broken ship.
Oh, I don't know.
300 bucks
Okay.
in and
Well,
here-
anyway.
in-
So,
Okay.
so you do. So you. Well, now you ruined the mood.
you're
Oh
just
my
describing
God.
what you saw in Halo 4.
Oh my God. Okay.
Wait, continue.
All
Go
right.
ahead. No, please tell me more.
No, you just like totally ruined it. Anyway.
Is she gonna say, "Cheap, I need you"? Because that's exactly what happens in Halo 4.
No. Anyway.
Was she gonna say something similar?
Oh, so that and then what else was
Okay,
what else
so
was
the
there?
other big game, Alien.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about this.
We don't know anything about it. So here's what we know. We know it's being developed by a studio called Cold Iron, which is a brand new studio, but made up of industry veterans. We know this game is called Alien.
Wait.
Not Aliens.
So it's a new studio?
It's a brand new studio that was put together for this game. And it is made up of industry veterans, which is, I guess, good, right? And it's called Alien, not Aliens or Alien vs. Predator, and it is a shooter.
Oh.
And that's all we know about this game.
There's no video, screenshots, nothing?
To be honest, I haven't even looked.
Oh my God.
But I bet there isn't.
That's how informed your podcast hosts are, people.
Yep. Anyway.
Leave it to the Xbox guy.
That's the big news for today. Thank you for joining us, and have a good... No, I'm just kidding. It was a 15-minute podcast.
No.
But yeah, so...
Well, it was a 30-minute podcast. Half of it was about Forza. The other half was about Fable.
Hey, one thing I wanted to ask you, Victor. So, you know how, like, okay, every game... I shouldn't say every game, but a lot of games. And certainly every major game, whether it's Battlefield or Forza or Horizon Zero Dawn, or like really any big game, right, that comes out always has DLC in the back end, and it has updates that fix bugs, and it has little things that they add in for free, like maybe different skins or different guns or whatever. But all these games have different things added post-release, right, that make the game better.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to get your take on this. When do you think is the best time to buy a game? Do you think it's at release, when the game first comes out, buggy and missing a bunch of content? Or do you think it's better to wait, get the discounted price, and then get like all this DLC and fixed bugs and everything else? And the reason I'm thinking about it is because, like, if you take Rainbow Six, for instance, right? That game came out, what was it, 2 years now? And since then, it has had a ridiculous amount of updates, all these different characters added, different modes, all the bugs have been ironed out, and it's become like a whole different, much better game than it was when it first released.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But in general, do you think it's better to wait?
Well, I think
Because
I think it depends on the kind of game.
Yeah, I wasn't finished. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, no, I was. Well, I wasn't finished. There's one thing I want to add. Let me say, like, very, very graciously, I want to add one more thing. So here's the other side, though, is if you don't play it right away, here's what you lose out on. And it may not seem like a lot, but you lose out on all the game chatter, right? Because everybody talks about a game when it's released. Nobody cares about it, say, a month after. Mm-hmm. And it's really, like, I think it's really fun to be part of that conversation. So, keeping that in mind, what do you think is the best time to buy a game?
So with that in mind, I really wouldn't care about that, because I play games at my own leisure. I mean, there's some really good games that will come out and people are buying it off the shelf the day it comes out, right? Or pre-ordered it and it pre-ordered well. I will likely not buy it because I play a wide variety of games already. So there's like so many games I have on backlog. That's the reason number one. Number two, like you said, just the discounted price, and a lot of it will be fixed. Now, Rainbow Six, the game you just mentioned, that game I would anticipate would have bugs just because of the style of game it was. It was a strictly online game, highly competitive. It was like a very team-based tactical game. So that's the kind of game you need to really put in the user's hands at full throttle to get all the bugs out. And that's also a good reason to wait, because then you're waiting, that month or that two for it to be really updated and give you the best experience.
Can I interject for 1 second?
What?
So with Rainbow Six, I want to challenge you on this. With Rainbow Six or any other online shooter, if you're waiting, say like your friends got it before you, right? They got it on day one, and you wait a few months.
Mm-hmm.
They become really good at this game by now. So you are disadvantaged because you're just starting off. And not only that, but they've also gotten a bunch of the upgrades that you don't have.
Well, if
so
you're,
guns,
well, I mean,
better,
if you have people to play with, then you're most likely going to buy this on release, regardless. I think.
What would you recommend though? Would you recommend buying it on release? You think it's a better time to buy it, or do you think it's better to wait and get the DLC for free because you buy like a Game of the Year edition or whatever, and all the bugs are ironed out?
Well, I mean, it depends. Right? Well, it depends. Like I say, because that's an online shooter. You want to play it when it's trending because servers are packed and fully excited when that game comes out. If you're talking about like a RPG game like Fallout, a strictly single player game, you can wait however long you want before you want to buy that game, and you don't have to buy it full price on day one. So I think it really depends on the kind of game. Rainbow Six, obviously, if you're going to play it with friends, if you're a Rainbow Six fan, you're going to buy that most likely within the first week or whatever to keep up with your friends or to play it yourself. I mean, that game, I think that game is still fairly popular because it always seems to come out with new characters, new content, and isn't it all that stuff free? They're just adding it to the system. You just have to earn it by playing.
I don't know if it's free or not, but they are always adding new content.
Yeah, so I mean, they're always adding like different tactical units of like different military specs and different weaponry. I don't know how far if they're adding maps or not, but it just seems like that game, even though it's 2 years old, you say, it still seems to be a game that's talked about and just what it offers, that online tactical shoot. I played it for maybe about a month or two. It was all right, but I played it on PC, so it was super competitive. So I just couldn't get into that competitiveness. But
on PC it's brutal. I feel like any shooter on PC is brutal.
Yeah. I mean, you got to fucking wear a diaper when you're playing that game. So
man.
Well, what do you think? Okay. I mean, what would you do personally?
It's tough. I think
like Battlefield. I would buy that game on release because I would expect to play that with you or some friends or something. I think
any game that I'm really looking forward to, no matter what it is, if it's single player or multiplayer, I think I would get it right away if I'm really looking forward to it. Just because, one, I couldn't wait, and two, I really like being part of that conversation, the initial hype push, right, where like every publication that in video game is talking about it, and all my friends are talking about it, and so I would want to be a part of that conversation.
So you want to play it to me. So you want to play it when the conversation is good. Yeah. Not a month later when the conversation turned bad.
Well, either like you're talking about Destiny,
or any other game that might have went down the drain. Battlefront 2. But
that reminds me. Do you want to play Destiny tonight?
I don't think I can. I'm sorry.
Okay, fine, whatever. Anyway, I've been playing Destiny.
It's not my destiny to play Destiny tonight.
What do you think of Destiny?
It's mediocre at best. I enjoyed the multiplayer, and it would be fun if you played it with people.
Yeah, I thought it was okay. I thought it was too similar to the last one.
Oh yeah, it's like DLC, dude. Like they really went out on
even the menus, right? Like it looks like just like the old game.
Yeah, when you push the button to go to the change your character. You look at your character and change out the stuff. It looks exactly identical. Like I feel like I'm playing Destiny 1 again. To be honest,
that's exactly what it's like.
I'm like, am I back? Did I put the right disc in?
Even the settings, like the first Destiny had like an old European area you explore right on Earth, right? There's the old European area, and this one has the exact same thing. Like it's a different part maybe of Europe, but it's an old European area, and all the menus. Especially when I first booted it up, and I saw that there's 3 options, and I'm like, that's just like Destiny 1.
Isn't the first level or the level on Earth on Destiny 2? Isn't that Russia?
On Destiny 2, I don't know.
Oh.
On Destiny 1, it was. On Destiny 2, I'm not sure if it's Russia or not, but it looks just like the other one. It looks just like it's like I don't know if they wanted to reuse the assets or the art assets or what, but like It looks just like the other one. It feels just like the other one.
But hey, it keeps on getting sold off the shelves.
Yeah, and it's crazy because Destiny 2 now has less features than Destiny 1 has now at this point. Right? But they're calling it part... Anyway.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Let's move on to our challenge. What do you say?
The challenge, yeah.
So this episode, we had a challenge. And I thought, what if somebody brand new to this console generation wanted to come in and buy either PlayStation or an Xbox, right? So it's assuming that they had the last system. Let's say they had both the last systems, both 360 and PlayStation 3, and they had all the major games. So, like, say reboots won't really matter to them because maybe they played them recently or whatever, right? So these are experienced gamers who haven't played the new consoles yet. But here's the caveat. They only have $400 to spend for 2018. Now, granted, like a couple bucks over, a couple bucks less is whatever, not going to make or break it. But the rules are this. For every dollar that you go over $400, which is their limit, we lose a point. For every game, either digital or physical, that you are able to add within this $400 limit, you gain a point. If you are able to add in Xbox Live or PlayStation Plus, the factors that let you play games online, you get 10 points. And each added accessory, like a headset, an extra controller, a media remote, whatever, grants you another 5 points. And so we're gonna see which.
So we're trying to do a scoring thing and me and you are like seeing who gets the most points.
Yeah, exactly.
For what? And what's the purpose of that?
So just to see this, based on these points, you'll be able to see which system you should buy. If you're a gamer that's on a budget, which system should you really start out with? And it's because, like, if you look at the games themselves, like most of the good games, they come out for both systems, right? Both systems have very similar features to them, right? So if you really want to just be a gamer, you can only get one system. Which system should you buy?
Well, I mean, you would have to buy the PlayStation because of its game exclusivity and just the performance of the machine, and it's a superior company and offers a better service, obviously. Duh.
Okay, so since we cut past the bullshit, what do you really think you should buy?
So let me set this up, actually. So I was at work the other day. And Roman texted me, and I thought this was a serious question. And he's like, "Hey, friend has $400 to spend on system and games. Would you recommend he get PlayStation 4 or Xbox?" Question mark. And I was like, "What the fuck, dude?" I'm like, I don't know. What did you say?
What did you say?
I said get an Xbox. I said get an Xbox.
Damn right you did, because Xbox is the better system.
Well, no, because it's cheaper. It's the cheapest one. He said he has $400. He has $400 to. You were like, he has $400 to spend, and he wants his bang for his buck. Well, always go with the cheapest stuff. And you said it was going to hold him over for a year. I mean, Xbox would go out on him after a year, so that was the perfect lineup for him. But anyway, so I thought of something though, obviously for PlayStation, because it is a better system. If you're just trying to get into gaming and want to experience something to hold you over for a year, I guess till the next gen comes out, PlayStation would be the way to go, because they just have a better lineup of content that has been there for a very long time. So you can get a lot of games, a lot of exclusive games for very inexpensive.
So let's see. What do you have?
Well, but you turn this in. No, but so I have a disclaimer. You actually turned this into this point system score. So
yeah,
whoever
I told
so
you
whoever wrecks. I perfectly fine. So whoever has the most points wins. So
exactly.
I actually went with a lineup of more accessories to make the gamer more comfortable than I did with games.
So what do you have?
So well, no, but it's your game. So I mean, you should go first. I mean,
I should go first. Okay, sure.
I insist.
So check this out.
Hold on.
So I found the best deal I was able to find on an Xbox One S. Not even the basic Xbox, but the Xbox One S that plays Blu-rays, both digitally and the actual discs, right? Which PlayStation 4 doesn't do.
We all know that. We all know. Wait, what?
We all know it doesn't do?
What do?
Yeah, the PlayStation 4 does not play 4K content.
PlayStation.
You have to get the PlayStation Pro for that. This is the Xbox One S, not X. $217. $217 delivered to your home.
$217.
Gets you
where?
Yep, $217 gets you the Xbox One S that plays Blu-rays and can stream Blu-rays. In tax on that is $21.70, right? So it brings you up to $238 so far out of 400, $238.7.
Okay.
Now I included Xbox Live to that, right? So that gives me an additional 10 points.
Okay.
Right, so I have the system, Xbox Live. The best deal I could find was $54.64, tax included. That gets me to a $293.34.
Where are you finding these things?
Just online. I don't know.
Oh no! Oh, you gotta give up this. Oh, right over. I could.
You should know the console. The console was on Amazon. The
price was $227.
The Xbox Live was on like G something website.
Well, the price on Amazon, I looked it up. Xbox One X was $227. You're marking it $10 cheaper. That's a little questionable.
It was $217. It was $217 when I looked it up on like Wednesday or whatever for the Xbox One S, and I think it was white. With no systems, no games in it added.
Okay.
There's no bundles. Okay, so then Xbox Live 5464, total of 293.34, and then so instead of I didn't add a single game to it, not one game, and you know why, Victor?
Why?
One is Xbox Live will give you 2 games a month every month.
Yeah, but they always suck.
But that's not it. I also added 9 months of Game Pass.
How much is that?
It's $90 for 9 months plus $9 tax, so $99.
Okay.
And that gives you, check this out. So there's well over 100 total games on there, but I decided not to include anything that wasn't an Xbox One game.
Oh my god, that's so.
So Xbox so Xbox 360 and Xbox One, the original Xbox games, I did not include. That gave me 79 Xbox One games, but I thought that was still too much. So you know what I did? I went back and I recounted to non-indie based games. So just big Xbox One titles like normal games, 16 games.
So why didn't you tell me we can sign up for a subscription? Because that's not really getting your own game. Once the subscription is done...
I said that you can use digital or physical games.
Yeah, like you bought it digitally, not through a subscription. Once the subscription is done, you don't own that game. So how does that even count for? I mean, that's ridiculous.
No, Xbox Live
my
you do.
God.
You totally do.
Oh.
Wait. Are you saying... so Xbox Live, I know for sure you do. Are you saying on Game Pass that once the subscription is done, you can't play that game again?
Or whatever, right?
Do they? Well, first of all, on Xbox on the Game Pass, do they ever expire?
What do you mean? You said just 9 months of Game Pass, so wouldn't it expire after 9 months? Access to that game.
But is it like Xbox
what do you mean?
Live? Here, because remember, like on Xbox Live, if you stop subscribing to Xbox Live, you still get to keep the game you downloaded while you have it for free.
No, I don't think you can either. Even on the Xbox.
No, you do.
On the Xbox.
You download it to your hard drive and then you get to keep it forever. It's yours forever.
I don't think that's true because when I wasn't connected to the internet one time with my Xbox and I tried to access a game, it said cannot play game due to licensing error. Then once I plugged in the internet and the Xbox connected to Xbox Live, I was able to play the game.
I don't know.
So
from what I read, like on Xbox Live, you could keep them forever. Let's see.
Yeah, I don't know.
Xbox Game Pass. I'm gonna look it up right now. Xbox Game Pass.
Are you talking about Game Pass? Or are you talking about Xbox Live or Xbox?
Both. Because I included Xbox Live in there, which is $54.64, right? Which
Were you talking about Xbox Gold?
Yeah, the Xbox Live Gold, right? That's one of them.
What's Gold?
And
it's just Xbox
Gold.
Gold.
Yep, and the other one is Xbox Game Pass.
So yeah, which is a subscription like PlayStation's subscription to their games as well.
No. The Xbox Gold is like the PlayStation Plus.
No, I know that. But you're
Xbox
talking
Game Pass.
Yeah.
Does PlayStation have a Game Pass?
I'm sure they have something very similar. It's not called Game Pass.
Do they? Wait, you're sure, or they actually do have something?
I'm not 100% sure. No.
Okay. Anyway, so forget it. So I have Xbox Live, Xbox Game Pass, which Game Pass again 16 games, and let's say this. Okay, so like let's say the subscription expires after the 9 months, right? So the way I envision it is this: this person gets it, like if they're buying it now, they get it towards the end of January, right? So 9 months would be, like March through December, right? 9, 10, 11, 12. So they're gonna be just the month of month of February and the month of March playing games that they get for free on Xbox Live. So they get 2 free games each month. So one in January, two in January, 2 in February, 2 in March. So 6 games from Xbox Live, and then they get the 9 months of Game Pass, which they can play at least as it stands now 16.
So hold on. How many of those games, of the 2 games that you get each month, do you personally play? I would say
Of the Xbox Live?
Yeah, Xbox Gold, right?
Oh, Xbox Gold, I mean?
Because that's what it is.
I played, I think, 0.
Exactly. So
I played 1.
How can you recommend somebody with $400 to come in and invest in a plan to buy games that you're not going to play because they're very dated? Like, I mean, dude,
that's why though, because I've already bought them. I don't play a lot of them. I don't play again because I already bought them back when they first came out. Like back when Forza came out on it, right? Like I already had Forza. I don't want to play it again and download it all over again.
Yeah, but this supposed friend hasn't.
Exactly. He hasn't played it yet, so he would get it for free with Xbox Gold.
Yeah, but...
Yeah, like he get it for free and he can play it. Like he hasn't played it yet.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's like one game out of how many? That's my point. Like you think that each game, like you're expecting these, like the 2 games that they're gonna get each month, that they're just absolutely gonna enjoy, and you know, I don't know.
So
and
you're saying,
and PlayStation does actually. I just found it right now. PlayStation Now has a game subscription with.
How much is that?
What the hell just happened? It opened to a different menu. Anyway, we'll continue. I'll keep looking it up.
Okay, so really quick. So are you saying that we shouldn't include the Xbox Live free games?
No, because I thought you were talking about like when you said physical or digital. These are copies you're intentionally buying, like Destiny, or just not like not relying on free games or free content or subscriptions. I thought you were talking about, you know, games that you look forward to buying, games that you want to play, games that, you know.
Well, I mean, the new game is like $60, right? So that's gonna be like you buy 2 of them and you're done.
That's what I'm saying. There's so many for a PlayStation side. There's so many games that have been out for so long. You said this person has $400 now.
Yeah.
To buy in this generation of 2018.
No, this generation, not 20. I mean, he has $400 for 2018, right?
Oh, you can
have more money in 2019.
So no. So, are you saying he can only spend $400 for content that's released in 2018?
He has $400 in his pocket, and he can buy anything for this new console.
Yeah, so he could buy. How long has this generation of gaming been out? For like 4 or 5 years, right?
Something like that, yeah.
All these games, Rise, he can buy that game for $5 off the shelf, brand new, probably from somewhere, $10.
Probably, or can he? Because like I looked at Amazon, the cheapest game I could find, brand new, was like $16.
Really? Because I found plenty of games for... Well, that's Xbox. That's what I'm saying. Xbox is a ripoff. I mean, there's WWE 2K15 that you can buy PlayStation, $10. Titanfall 2, $10. Really? Dude, there's lots of people that play WWE.
Hey,
Until Dawn, $20.99. Ratchet and Clank, $19.99.
People PlayStation can't wait to buy Hello Kitty Island Adventure, $6.99.
Hello Kitty is that on Xbox? Xbox exclusive?
I don't know. Anyway, so I guess we went at different approaches, right? You went like a hard game copy version, right? I went at it with like, hey, here's some services.
Hey, you went at it with here, invest your money in crap games.
Dude, Halo 5 is on those services.
Yeah, and it's no.
Halo 5 is amazing. You said it was amazing.
Again, a game that you'll never own once your subscription is up.
Well, that we don't know that.
You're basically paying to rent games, dude. That's what you're paying to rent. I mean,
here's the thing. So these 9 months, right? Assuming he starts off with Xbox Live, these 9 months then of Game Pass will run him through the rest of the year of 2018. After that, he has more money, so he can reinvest in a new Game Pass if he wanted to, or he could buy games or whatever. But some of the games on Game Pass, check this out. Not only is obviously Halo, right? There's also a few Resident Evil games. There's Metal Gear Solid 5. There's Metro Light Redux. So I'm at, let's see here, 10 points for Xbox Live, right? 16 points for the games, because I'm only counting the Xbox One games that are not indie, and that are
How many points?
16. There's 16 Xbox One games that are not indie and not Xbox 360 or the original Xbox games.
Yeah.
And I'm counting 5 more points for the headset that I got for $8.92.
Okay.
But it took me to $401.26.
Okay.
So in going by Price is Right rules, 401 is really 402, which means I lose 2 points.
So what's your score?
My total is 10 plus 16 is 26, plus 5 is 31, minus 2 is 29. So my total is 29 points.
Okay.
So let's see what Victor got.
Okay. So since you're doing the math there, I can hear you calculating. You're gonna have to do this. Obviously, the PlayStation 4, $299.
Minus 100 points. Just kidding.
What?
I said minus 100 points.
But that's for the Battlefront bundle, so you do get a game with it. So that would be 1 point.
Oh, okay. So 1 point for the Battlefield. Okay.
Yeah, and then you'd also get Titanfall 2, which is $10.10.
$10. Okay, so 2 points.
Yep. And then you'd want to get some accessories for your gaming rig because you want to deck it out.
What was the first game? Battlefront or Battlefield?
Battlefront 2.
Oh, the battle game. Okay.
and then Titanfall 2. That's 10-10.
Uh-huh.
And then we'd get the the accessories. You'd get the light decal for the front of the controller, $7.99.
Okay.
5 points.
That's 5 points. Okay.
You'd get the slip skin and thumb grips for your controllers for those intense battles when your hands are sweating, $9.99.
Okay, it's another 5 points. Okay.
Okay. And then you got the controller docking station. Since PlayStation are nice enough to offer rechargeable controllers, unlike the Xbox where you got to buy AA batteries.
But a cord that reaches 1 foot, so you have to sit like an inch.
No, dude, the cord is like 7 feet. I use it all the time when I'm gaming.
I use it all the time too. It's not nowhere near 7 feet. It's 3 feet.
Yeah, dude. No, dude, no.
It is.
It's maybe like four and a half.
Okay, anyway.
Anyway,
so,
controller dock,
that's another 5
$9.99. So that's 5
15
points.
points, right?
Okay, and then you got a console skin.
What the fuck is the console skin?
The little decals you put all over your controller to make them look different or something.
A sticker?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god, 5 points. Okay, 5 points.
That's $11.99. So where are you writing the price down? Because I've got.
No, I'm not writing the prices down. I'm only writing the points down. Do you want me to write the prices down?
Well, let me do. I'll calculate it since you're writing the points.
Dude,
where am I at on points?
A sticker? You put a sticker in it. It's $11.99.
Hey man, you said accessories, right,
bro? Oh my god! But who? Do you really, dude? Think about that. You're recommending somebody buy a sticker for $12.
Hey man, hey, you're the one that turned it into a game, bro.
Why didn't you find a game that's worth $12?
Oh, you could. I mean,
but why didn't you?
$10.99.
Are you sure you can?
You got Titanfall 2 on there, $10.99.
What else do you have that's not cheap? Because you really recommended a sticker. Oh, you wanted the points. That's what it was.
Yeah,
the game is 1 point.
Dude, that's the same thing you did.
Oh my god.
Okay. Oh man, come
Except
on, man.
My bundle has 16 games and yours has 36 stickers.
Oh man, hey man, you wanted a duel. So where am I at on points?
So on points you have 2 points for games because you have Titanfall 2 and Battlefront 2, right?
Okay.
You have 5 points, 5 points, 5 points, and 5 points. So 20 points for accessories so far.
Okay. So wait, how many points do I have total? You said? Sorry.
So far you have 22 points total.
22 points. Okay.
To my 29, I have 29. So that's what you gotta beat.
Oh, you have 29.
Yeah, but you have 22 so far.
I have 22. Oh, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I'm gonna barely lose. And then,
and there's your spoiler.
Oh, well, yeah, because I would lose because then I gotta add the tax to this.
Jeez, so for any of you listening, rewind back and skip the last 7 seconds, and then rewind forward. That way you don't get the spoiler.
Wow.
Okay. Anyway.
Oh, I lost by 2 points.
Oh my god!
Bastard.
Stop giving spoilers away. Okay, 22 points.
Bastard.
And what else?
No. Oh, and then the Nyko Glow keypad, which is $16.99.
Nyko Glow keypad, $16.99. Okay, so another 5 points.
So
5,
times
10, 15, 20,
0.
25. Plus
So that
2.
Yeah, so that's $362.94.
And is that it?
Yeah.
So let me get this straight. for Battlefront 2 and Titanfall 2, two games, both of which are primarily going to be played online, you did not get an online subscription for.
Hey, man. You snooze, you lose, right?
So these people are going to get their games home, and then I'm going to be able to play what they're meant for played.
Yep.
Oh my god. Okay. Dude, that's
and that brings the total. And that brings the total to $3.98.29. Boom. So wait, if I'm under? Didn't you say if you're under, you get a point? So I'm $2 under 400,
so
which
sure,
brings me to
under.
29. Which brings me to 29, bro.
So okay,
oh
so let's say this. So we are tied, right? We're tied.
Oh my god.
Now, just to recap for anybody listening. With the Xbox, you get a Xbox Live subscription, which lets you play games online. You get 16 video games that you can actually play.
The shitty ones.
You get... Huh?
Nothing, keep going.
You get a headset. And you get a headset, right? With the PlayStation, you get 2 games instead of 16. And you get a bunch of plastic junk and a sticker.
Hey, man. You gotta deck it out, bro. You gotta deck it out.
Oh
it's only gonna go
God.
for a year. I mean, things only trend for a year, you know? Stickers
That's
will
true.
wear out.
Who knows? By then, my new PlayStation might come out and it'll cost a lot more than $400. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the last thing we want to talk about was art style, right?
Yeah, so I think art styles are like different art styles are really trending. There's not a lot of games that like, oh, we got another game that looks like this that's coming out. I think there's really strong variety out there, especially when what we've seen from 2018, what we come to see, you know, here in this year 2018. And it kind of makes me wonder, well, what I've noticed a lot is kind of this very hand-drawn, not so much cartoony, but this very artistic style of games coming out that are really emphasizing on this. Say, for example, Zelda, or say, for example, Sea of Thieves that's coming out, or any other game that might take a more unique approach. It just seems like they're gaining traction. So it kind of makes me wonder, well, what kind of game is more favored by gamers? I mean, are the hyper-realistic, you know, very detailed games such as like Witcher or Horizon or, you know, Forza or Call of Duty, those really high poly games, are those more popular, or are these more artistic games more popular among gamers? Are they more unique? Do they offer something that really keeps gamers engaged? Because, you know, when you want to be immersed or be taken away, you want to be taken away to a world you wouldn't experience, and that's probably where you can experience it the most, I would imagine, is in these kind of games, to really take you somewhere beyond what we know from reality or something. But so I mean, I can probably guess, Roman, that you're more of the realistic gamer side. Like you think,
yeah, absolutely.
yeah. Even though you played Zelda, which you enjoyed, and you're looking forward to Sea of Thieves, which is a very artsy looking game.
Yeah.
Do you think it's gaining in popularity though?
To your point, I think Zelda, I don't think would work as a realistic game. I mean, they tried it like semi-realistic back in the. I think the Wii U had a semi-realistic version of Zelda. Like, it wasn't totally realistic, but it was more realistic than this last one, and more realistic than, like, say, Zelda. What was that? Wind Walker or whatever the hell it's called. Wind Waker. Yeah. So I think Zelda works best. Like, I think it depends on the game, right? Some games work best as cartoony. Some games work best as realistic. If they made a Call of Duty that was a little cartoony, I probably wouldn't be interested. That'd probably be the first Call of Duty game I skip ever. Like, just because it looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
But with Zelda, like, I skipped the realistic looking one, and I went for both the cartoony looking ones, like Wind Waker or this last one. Mm-hmm. And I think it really depends on the game. But I think
so you went to Zelda because of its defining art style.
No, not because. I went to Zelda because of how everybody was talking about it and the amazing reviews it got. That's why I went to Zelda. But I think the art style helped because Nintendo is not really focused on graphics as much, right? They're not worried about 4K, right? And they're not worried about poly count as highly as maybe PlayStation and Xbox are. Mm-hmm. And so they have to experiment with different types of art styles. They just have to, because there's nothing else. There's no other way they can compete as far as the graphics side go. And the Zelda, it looked kind of like a picture book. Like, it looked like a story tale. Like, it looked really, really pretty. And I really liked that. And but another game I think could benefit from a different type of art style, I think, is Minecraft. Because right now, Minecraft looks very cartoony. That's what
I was saying. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, it looks very cartoony and fake. I think it'd look really amazing if it was realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it'd be hard to do, right? Because everything's built of blocks. But even if each block looked very realistic, and I've seen some like DLC you could download or for the computer or whatever. And there's even some on the Xbox One, but it doesn't look that great on Xbox One. But on the computer, there's some really realistic looking stuff, and it looks really good. Like Minecraft, what's great about Minecraft is it's not just a building simulator, right? It's not, you don't just build like houses or whatever. It's an actual adventure survival game. And I think that's a strength that nobody really knows about. And having that realistic art style could really help sell it on this type of game. As it's not just like this little kiddie, like, hey, build a house, but it's more of like the adult survive an island Robinson Crusoe style.
Yeah. Well, there's so many games like that out, especially on PC, that you would think would be good, but I don't think they ever gained the traction of, say, Minecraft. I mean, Minecraft blew up, even though it's so primitive looking. I think it may have taken a while for it to catch on to maybe the adult gamers, but I think it did at some point. And they should definitely change that art style, or somebody should adapt a similar mechanic to a more adult version. Something that looks higher poly, and just adventurous, like you described Minecraft to be.
Yeah. Here's the thing though, like, it'd be hard because in Minecraft, every single thing you see could be removed or destroyed or placed in a different location. Right? How would you possibly do that in a game that looks realistic? Like, if you take a piece of dirt and you put it down somewhere else, would it come down as real dirt would out of a bucket where it makes like a little hill?
Well, maybe you don't have to make it look hyper realistic. Maybe you can just, because I mean, if you were to think of a scale from one end to the other of total opposites, Minecraft is the total opposite of hyper realistic. I mean, it's boxes essentially. So I think you would maybe meet in the middle, like Zelda, like a Zelda-esque art style.
Be really cool.
That something like cool. That, where you have the building mechanic, not necessarily the same, color themes and stuff, but to that level of polish in the models. I think it would be a very successful. I would play. I mean, I in Minecraft has always intrigued me because of that, but I could never get past the look, so I never bothered to play it.
Dude, you should try it. It's really good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's made millions and millions of dollars, and I think the guy who invented it sold it to Microsoft for like nearly I want to say either 500 million or like nearly $1 billion. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember how much we sold it for either, but yeah, it's a really good game, and you should definitely try it out. It's really fun. It's available on everything, even PlayStation.
Yeah.
Like Microsoft, even after they bought it, they haven't limited it to like who can play it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a money cow, so they're not gonna.
Yeah. But I mean, you got to think about anything like that, right? Like, you could say like, oh, well, Horizon Zero Dawn could make more money if it came out on Xbox and Nintendo as well, but yeah, PlayStation won't even allow people to play games together online.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
By the way, did you hear about Epic?
No, what about Epic?
So this happened maybe like a few months ago or whatever, but with their game, I think it was called Fortnite, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
They secretly let Xbox and PlayStation players play together online.
What?
Yeah, they secretly did, and it worked perfectly fine. Nobody complained until one gamer figured it out based on the gamer tags, because like. I think in PlayStation you're not allowed to have spaces or something, your gamer tag, something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they saw that and they're like, this must be an Xbox gamer tag. So they called it out and it became this huge thing. And it turns out that Epic was like, yeah, we just flipped the switch and let PlayStation and Xbox people play together. And then PlayStation, Sony obviously came down and said you can't do this, so they had to stop it.
Damn, dude! Fortnite is a very fun game. Like, you would be surprised. I didn't play it for a long time because I wasn't really intrigued by it. But when I looked at it in screenshots or whatever, but I figured, it's free to play. There's a few people I know that I'm like, oh, you should just download it to play it. So I played it, and I mean, it's identical to, if anybody knows, PUBG style, battle royale essentially, except with crafting.
Really?
Yeah, it's the same thing except with crafting. You can build structures as you're in the open world. You have a pickaxe and you can demolish virtually everything in that game: trees, buildings, walls, fences, trucks. You just pick at it and you gain material, and then you can craft and build buildings, bridges, whatever you want to make as you're fighting people that you come across.
So it's Minecraft.
In a sense, yeah, it has a Minecraft.
Right?
It has a strong Minecraft mechanic where you're mining. I mean, that's what a lot of people incorporate, that mining and building as they fight, because as the area shrinks and the eye of the storm gets smaller, you then kind of have to build a defense that might not be there, and then you build up something like Minecraft, and then you use it as a barrier to fight off the enemies that are going to close in on you or whatever. It's a very fun game. I would hope that you would play it with me at least one round, a couple rounds. I guarantee you would enjoy it. It's free, dude. Like, it's such a fun game, and it's free. I mean, you can't even beat that.
How similar is it to Forza?
It's exactly the same. It's exactly the same. Open world. Beautiful. I mean, and it's a cartoon style. It's like cartoony. I would describe it as a very Pixar-ish looking.
Wait.
Some high fidelity, but.
What game did you tell me to play earlier this week?
Fortnite.
Was it Fortnite?
Yeah, dude. I'm telling you.
Okay, I got it wrong then. Epic did not make Fortnite. Epic made something else. What was the other game? Because Fortnite was made by somebody else. It wasn't Epic. So just so we're clear on that, I'm making a correction right now. Fortnite was made by a different developer. Epic made something like a similar, if Epic made a similar game to Overwatch. I forget what the hell it's called. But I downloaded it at Fortnite, just so you know.
Oh, nice. We should play it, dude.
I did download it. I'll make you a deal. I will play Fortnite with you if you play Minecraft.
Oh, but then I have to buy it, and I don't want to buy it.
You have to buy it. You'll buy it, and you will like it, Victor, because it's really fun.
Can you play with friends?
You can play with friends. Yeah, we can play in the same world together.
No, nice. Oh, do I have to either visit your world or you have to visit mine?
Yeah, you have to, because every time that you, not every time you log in, because you log in back into your world that you made, but the very first time you log in, you make a brand new world, right? And then if you wanted to start a whole new world, you could start a whole new world, or you could go back to the world you've already made. Mm-hmm. But everybody has unique worlds.
Yeah.
Anyway, and on that note, I think we end it.
Yeah.
It's been a good episode. We had fun talking about how much better Xbox is and Forza. So thank you so much for joining us.